Now, there's no doubt about it that by far one of the most anticipated Star Wars TV shows of 2023 is indeed the Ahsoka Tano TV series that is going to focus on the new mythology of the Jedi, the Force, and the Cosmic Force that's really going to lend a lot of credit toward George Lucas and the mythology that he started all the way back in 1977. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe is that, yes, we do have FAVREAU and Filoni really reviving a large chunk of Star Wars legends that is going to become canon in the next couple of months, and a lot of which will happen next year. But there's also a lot of things that are beginning to brew behind the scenes between John, George, and Dave working on shows like Mando 4, the Ahsoka series, and everything else that goes beyond all of that. Now that brings us to actor Mark Hamill. Now we already know that he is going to be heavily involved in The Mandalorian Season 4 with the return of Luke Skywalker using brand new technology, revolutionary technology I must add, that's going to be created by ILM. So, beyond all of that too, this is where things begin to really progress further, is that Mark Hamill, you guys may recall, has been very tight-lipped about his experience, his real experience with the sequel trilogy movies, and really kind of going back and forth at times about his take on The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, etc. However, recently he's been a little bit more vocal about all of that and telling the truth about how he felt about Disney, the sequel trilogy, and his personal experience on the sets of these films and what was meant to be. So, of course, given that Disney and Lucasfilm are now getting ready to begin working on The Mandalorian 4 as Jon Favreau is currently writing the script, however, in a recent interview, actor Mark Hamill was able to talk more about his experience with the Star Wars sequel trilogy movies and revealed new stories about his time working on the films for his character. Now, Mark Hamill stated the following to the fans: "Well, I always never understood why Disney really decided to cheat the fans the way that they did, especially with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I will never forget the early concepts and plans they had for me when Michael was writing the story where I was supposed to be in the majority of the film, and how I would meet Rey in the very beginning of Episode 7. By the way, guys, he's referring to Michael Arndt. I will never forget my reaction to Disney for changing that to the little screen time that I got in 7. I mean, it was the most frustrating experience I went through as an actor, if I had to tell the truth. I just never really liked how Disney handled these movies. They never had a full plan from start to finish with the characters and the entire story. You see, to me, a trilogy as big as Star Wars needs to have a general outline beforehand. You can't just go with the flow. In my eyes, Disney failed the fans in many ways with those films that could have been so much more. A lot of this had to do with Kathleen Kennedy's vision to basically undo George's vision, and I was never okay with that at all. It always made me very uncomfortable. I will never forget that they specifically told George to never visit the sets, as he would only cause a shift in focus for the cast and the crew, which I thought was an unacceptable thing to do to this man who is so kind-hearted and charismatic. It was a tough 6 years working on the sequels on and off, and having to deal with so many creative differences between the creators and Disney at the time." Now, I just want to take a break here for 1 second before we get on to the next thing that really escalates. So Mark Hamill, alright, we all know that he kind of flip-flopped over the years, and what I mean by that is, there were times where he would support Rian Johnson, there were other times where he would not support Rian Johnson. And then there were other, points in time where Mark Hamill would actually express his true feelings on Twitter, only for Disney to tell him to take that down. And he actually admitted about that before in the past, that Disney often approached him through social media, telling him to take this post down or take that one down and put something in replacement of that. So that's the one thing that I don't like about the film industry, is that it kind of is a little controlling when it comes to how the actors should express themselves, either on social media or in person. You never quite get, and this is why I always say this to you guys, you never really get the full real person, even in interviews. You know, when you actually watch a visual interview, like them actually, let's say for example, on a late night show, or on the red carpet, or just doing a press tour, they're never 100% themselves. They're always somewhat attached to what the film studio is telling them how to say things and what to say. So you never really get a full grip on reality of exactly who these people really are. So it's really refreshing when you have somebody like Mark Hamill kind of unwinding from that, and how this is becoming a bigger trend now, where you have a lot of actors and actresses really just saying what they want to say, and that's that. You know, you're seeing a shift in focus here. So moving forward from all of this, alright, this is where Mark Hamill actually begins to say more, is that when I was working on The Last Jedi, I will be honest that I saw how fans would react. I just felt that something was going to happen with this film, so I spoke to Ryan privately and I had warned him to make some big tweaks with Luke's character. But hey, he didn't want to listen, and even Disney didn't want to listen to me. I even had a chat with Bob Iger at the time about how Luke should be used in Episode 8 at the time, and they just were so focused on really turning Luke into something else that I felt was a different Luke to me. I would at times feel sick to my stomach over how they took George's best character, turned him upside down, but I'm loving what John and Dave are doing so far. They are incredible people, and I think the fans have nothing to worry about with their direction over Luke, because they had told me about their future plans, and I won't say anything, but it's going to be quite a ride for the next couple of years. I promise everyone out there who is patiently waiting it will be worth it. So, here's the thing about this too, is that Mark Hamill, if you guys go ahead and look back at the interviews when he was promoting The Last Jedi, he had a lot of problems with The Last Jedi. It was very apparent on his face. Mark Hamill looked truly disoriented, he looked truly shocked at times, and he just wasn't there. It's like as if Mark Hamill just woke out of a deep sleep at times when he was sitting next to Oscar Isaac, John Boyega, Daisy Ridley. Just something was off, and you can see how that really was indeed something going on because of what Mark Hamill is saying. So, he's more enthusiastic lately because John and Dave are achieving Mark Hamill's dreams of how Luke should have been handled right from the get-go, and that is something, guys, that I respect. The fact that Mark is going to be very much involved with the future of Star Wars and beyond in multiple formats, and the fact that John and Dave are in control of that. I do believe what Mark Hamill is saying, that what we are waiting for is going to be well worth it. And we've been talking about what's already planned out in storyboards for Mandalorian Season 4. A lot of great things are coming, so stay tuned. And everything really is beginning to show a light at the end of the tunnel beyond 2022, like this year. Everything in 2023, except for Skeleton Crew in my book, is looking brighter and brighter. So I would like to hear what you guys have to say about this, because everything related to Mark Hamill, so far he's been being more vocal, telling, giving out more honest opinions about things. So yeah, drop a comment below, guys. Let me know what you guys have to say about all this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night